Okay. Welcome to our River Recycle's global expansion strategy. Plastic pollution is a global problem. According to the United Nations Environmental Program, every year approximately 19 to 20 million tons of plastic waste ends up in the waterways. The main reason why plastic waste ends up in the rivers is because waste management doesn't work properly in developing countries. The plastic waste is dumped in the river because companies do not need to pay landfill fees. If plastic pollution continues at this same rate, there will be more plastic than fish in the ocean by 2050. River Recycle offers a viable solution based on an economy circular model. Focusing on the target market, River Recycle has an advantage on countries surrounded by rivers with inadequate waste infrastructure. River Recycle needs to pay attention to Asia, as it is home to 50 of 20 most contaminated rivers in the world. 86% of the marine waste is known that comes from this area. We will focus on India and Indus and the Ganges rivers, which flows through India, which carry the second and the sixth highest amounts of plastic waste to the ocean.
The SWOT highlights the firm-specific advantages, like the patents, to save the competitive advantage with the technology. The technology is key to tackle the global issue of plastic pollution, but also the pilot projects and the circular business model are important advantages. If we take a closer look at the stakeholders, we see that the community, the environment, and private individuals all benefit. An example is the ecosystem of shared goals. To reduce the weaknesses, we recommend adding another source of funding, such as NGOs. Regulation and adaptability are particularly important for the external perspective. Herewith, I pass on to the Pestel.
Thank you. So next, a few key points about our Pestel analysis for India. So first of all, politically and socially speaking, India is a very diverse environment. There is some political turbulence with, for instance, religion, but overall, India is still a pretty good environment for businesses, and things like the tax system are quite robust. Also, there's a high amount of working population, which is good. And technologically speaking, India is also quite good with, for instance, great IT infrastructure. Environmental awareness is also increasing, and the legislations are quite good in terms of FDI. Next slide, please. Okay, for our second Pestel analysis for Bangladesh, we found that a lot of the things, such as the political and social aspects, were quite similar, but there were a couple of challenges there, which are highlighted in red, that led us to choose India as our first location in the internationalization strategy before moving on to other locations.
Here is our proposal for the global strategy that is based on standardized technologies and local adaptation. For this strategy, we propose that the core technology and operational model should be mainly standardized, but it should also take into account local communities and regulatory requirements in order to make some adjustment if needed. It is important to build partnerships with local communities that take in consideration local circumstances and cultural sensitivity. As a part of this, we propose recruiting project managers, for example, in form of volunteers that would help coordinate projects and training local on-sites. As a part of the training managers, we propose creating online training model that would help them to get familiar with the company's technology, waste separation process, and local partnerships. It is also important to establish partnerships with plastic recycling companies in order to sell collected plastic waste, as they generate the main revenue. These partnerships should be preferably local or regional in order to keep most of the value chain and revenue in local region. In addition, we propose collaborating with non-governmental organizations to get additional funding. Thank you.
Okay, and here's our suggestions for the organizational structure. So basically, it's a pretty standard function or role-based structure with a couple of key features. So first of all, the headquarters would still remain in Finland, with most of the centralized operations like R&D, administration, as well as recruitment and online training being their responsibility. Next, we propose setting up a subsidiary in India, where things such as the production of these cleaning stations would take place. Also, the technical support for the river cleaning solutions would be placed here. Besides this, every further location or subsidiary would have a department for taking care of the local partnerships, as well as the local project management teams themselves.
Thank you. For expansion of our business in primary stage, we have to focus some key points. That is to give a priorities and doing research collaboration with government organizations, participation of local community and organized cleanup crews, integration of technology and creating public education and awareness, corporate collaborations and sponsorship operations, and private policy advocacy, support continual adaptation, and also the enhancement points. For considering the sustainable development goals, we are taking considerations 6 SDGs for our further business, and that is SDG 3, 8, 9, 11, 14, and 17. Next slide. For installation of 500 river cleaning points, we took consideration in India, Bangladesh, China, and Indonesia, because all of those countries have the large amount of rivers and have a great number of pollution. First of all, in 2023, we will set up at least 50 major river points in India by considering R&D, government collaboration, and creating local awareness. And by 2025, we will set up at least 150 major river cleaning points, which is directly connected with Indian Ocean. Then we will move for internationalization in 2026 to Bangladesh by maintaining the global strategy analysis, and we will set up at least 150 river recycling points. Then 2027, we will look for China, and we will look all the environmental protection issues and the water management laws, and we will set up 100 river cleaning points. And by 2028, we will set up another 50 cleaning point in Indonesia by maintaining all the rules and regulations of environmental issues. Thank you for our presentation.